I have to tell you, I went through all the material you sent over about what's happening at 1925 Giants Drive, and I just feel emotionally drained.
Oh, yeah.
It started with sadness, then it went to anger, and now I think I'm just in this state of, like, existential dread.
I get it. It's exhausting.
This isn't just a bad season anymore. This is a full-blown circus, a complete and utter circus. And for those of us who grew up with this team, it is just painful to watch.
It is. And that's really what we need to get into here. We have to dive into the absurdity of it all to figure out what is actually breaking down inside that building.
Right.
Because the one question every single fan is asking right now is this: how can we finally get what looks like a real franchise quarterback and still be this miserable?
Exactly. It makes no sense. You're not just watching football at this point. You, the listener, you're living through an emotional horror film every Sunday.
And you know what the worst part is? The thing that proves this whole thing is a dumpster fire.
What's that?
The off-field stories are now more ridiculous than the blown leads on the field.
Yes. When your HR problems are bigger news than your quarterback, you know you've got a problem. We have to figure out who lit the match and why Joe Schoen is just standing there watching it burn.
Well, that dysfunction is the perfect place to start because it really gets to the core issue of competence or the lack of it. And it starts at the very top.
The owner.
The owners and the GM.
Yep.
So let's begin with the most insane story of the year. The Brian Cox plane seating saga.
Okay, let's unpack this because it's beyond belief. An assistant D-line coach gets canned during the bye week.
Right.
And the final straw wasn't coaching, it wasn't insubordination, it was, and I can't believe I'm saying this, beef.
Tell me that doesn't just completely destroy your faith in professional sports. The story is that assistant coaches who usually sit up front, to be near the coordinator.
Sure, makes sense.
They apparently got moved to the back of the plane on the flight home from New England. And the outrage over that was reportedly the final straw. That's what got him fired.
It's so ridiculous that when you read the headline, assistant coach fired over seating arrangement, you have to laugh. It's not even sad anymore. It's just absurd.
Yeah.
How does management let a petty squabble over legroom become a national firing scandal?
Well, that's the thing. It's not just about the pettiness. It's about a complete lack of organizational control.
Totally.
It proves the chaos is it's out of control. It's an HR failure. It's a leadership failure. I mean, it makes the team look less like an NFL franchise and more like a group project that went to Cancun and broke up on the flight home.
That's a perfect analogy. If you can't manage who sits in row 12 versus row 25, how in the world are you managing a $200 million salary cap? It's incompetence.
And speaking of things that should have stayed behind closed doors, let's talk about that Hard Knocks appearance.
Oh, man.
Because that gave the whole world a peek behind the curtain, and it confirmed every single fear we have about the leadership vacuum with this head coach.
It was called the least inspiring speech in recorded football history.
And that might be generous.
I was cringing watching it. It was just full of these empty cliches like, we lost as a team, we'll win as a team. And then, to make up for the lack of actual substance, he throws in 8 F-bombs. Like, swearing somehow makes you a leader.
Right, like profanity equals passion. It just comes off as insecure.
It really does. And the players' faces told the whole story. The sources detailed it perfectly.
Yeah, the reactions were almost worse than the speech itself.
Dexter Lawrence looked like he was mentally ordering Uber Eats. He was completely checked out. And Brian Burns looked like he was just trying to solve math problems in his head to pass the time.
Total emotional unplugging. You could just feel it through the screen.
That's how you know the locker room is cooked. It's just done. And it shows that being a genius coordinator does not make you a leader of men.
Not at all.
This guy has a great resume. He worked with an MVP quarterback, but he doesn't have it. He feels like a coordinator wearing a head coach name tag.
That's a perfect description. A true head coach sets the culture. They don't need to fake it with a bunch of F-bombs.
And this is where my frustration with Joe Schoen just boils over. This is his guy. He failed to identify the right person for the job, and we're all paying the price. This coach shrinks in the spotlight, and that is the kiss of death in New York.
So let's zoom out. Let's look at the ugly historical context here that completely justifies all this frustration.
Okay.
The sources paint a pretty devastating picture. Since 2017, the Giants have the most losses in the entire NFL.
The most?
The most.
That is it's humiliating. We're the new Cleveland Browns. We are the league's punchline. And it is absolutely heartbreaking for anyone who remembers what this franchise used to be.
And that failure, that losing culture, it shows up on the field every Sunday in the play calling.
Oh, yeah. The disconnect is staggering.
The coach says, we're going down swinging. We're aggressive.
Aggressive where? Where is the aggression?
The numbers don't lie. They are dead last in the league in passing rate over expected.
Which, for anyone listening, just means when any other modern NFL team would be throwing the ball to catch up, we're running these pathetic little draw plays up the middle.
That's not going down swinging. That's going down politely. Running on 3rd and 12 when you're down 3 scores. That's not aggression. It's surrender.
It's strategic cowardice. And that's why the only answer here is a full reset. You have to clean house, everybody in charge, pack your things.
The complete overhaul.
We need leaders who can actually build an identity and won't crumble under the pressure of playing in New York. If Schoen and this ownership can't do that, they don't deserve the keys to the building anymore.
We have to pivot. Because even in all this darkness, there is one single, solitary glimmer of hope.
And what a glimmer it is.
The beautiful irony is that in the middle of this disaster, the Giants finally drafted a quarterback who looks like the real deal.
Jackson Dart, our frosted tip stuntman, the agent of chaos.
He is the only reason to tune in right now.
I love this kid. He comes back from a concussion and plays the exact same way. Just reckless abandon, zero fear. That's the energy this team has been missing for a decade.
And he's putting up numbers on hard mode. I mean, think about it. The offensive line is a mess. The play calling is a mess.
Total mess.
And he still has 11 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. A 94 passer rating. Those are franchise QB numbers under impossible circumstances.
And the rushing, don't forget the rushing. He's averaging over 30 yards a game and has 7 rushing touchdowns. He runs with this complete lack of self-preservation that is both terrifying and exhilarating to watch.
He is, and he's making the guys around him better. Wan'Dale Robinson is chasing 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Over 70 catches.
Yeah.
He is 1 missed tackle away from a touchdown every single time he touches the ball.
And Theo Johnson at tight end, 5 touchdowns. He's just out there catching deflected passes like he's playing by himself. The fact that Dart is finding success with these guys just makes the organizational failure that much more infuriating.
Okay, so let's bring it to this week. The ultimate showdown. The Giants versus the Commanders.
The Sad-Off. The Tank Bowl. A glorious competition for the #1 pick.
I saw a meme that said the graphic for this game should just be, someone has to lose better.
That's perfect. I mean, Washington is truly awful. They got shut out last week and had, 108 total passing yards?
Pathetic. So you'd think this would be a feast for the Giants defense, right?
You would think. But our defense is a donation service, especially against the pass.
They're giving up a 98 passer rating to opposing quarterbacks, only 5 interceptions all year.
And here's the real problem, the run defense.
Yep.
It's porous. Washington's opponent last week ran for almost 5.5 yards a carry against them. Our guys can't hold the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a long day.
So who are the key matchups to watch in this mess?
Well, the one star we have on that side of the ball is Brian Burns.
Still holding the gap.
He has 13 of the team's 29 sacks. If you don't block him, he will wreck your entire game plan.
And on offense.
The opportunity is there for Tyrone Tracy. Washington has been getting gashed by running backs. If we actually commit to misdirection and counters, things that Dart is good at, Tracy could have a huge day and take some pressure off the kid.
So let's wrap this up. Let's get to predictions for this chaotic game.
All right, I'm going with the full chaos angle. Giants 27, Commanders 23.
Oh, optimistic.
I'm saying Dart goes off, Wan'Dale has a huge day, and Brian Burns finally wakes up and gets a couple of sacks. We get a narrow, ugly win fueled by talent, and we get one single fleeting moment of happiness.
Okay, I'm going with what I call the most Giantsiest outcome possible.
Whoa, which is?
Giants 20, Commanders 17.
Okay.
We win a miserable game that nobody enjoys watching, but in doing so, we accidentally leapfrog 2 teams in the draft order and screw up our offseason.
Yeah.
It's the most soul-crushing path possible.
That sounds about right. And we know you, the listener, are just exhausted by all this. The frustration is so deep because you can see the talent, you see Dart, you see Burns, and you just can't understand how the team is still this miserable.
That's the gut punch. They found the hard-to-find pieces, and the leadership is failing them.
But here's the final thought I want to leave you with this week. Yes, the team is a clown show right now.
No doubt.
But the foundation is there. So the question is, if they finally clean house, if Schoen and the coaches are replaced, and real, competent adults walk through the doors at 1925 Giants Drive, how fast can this thing actually be turned around?
Because that talent is a powerful engine. If the right driver ever gets behind the wheel, The ceiling is way higher than this circus suggests.
We'll keep watching.
Yeah.
And we'll keep complaining until it happens.
Protect your Sundays, everyone. We'll talk soon.
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And, a huge shout out always to BLKFREEZYTV.
Oh, definitely.
For the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep. Their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.
This has been Big Blue Tea.